Hello, my name is Kathy, and today I'll be discussing how to use homeopathic remedies on ailments, continuing with infections, infestations, and the immune system, starting with the letter B2, bacterial, gastrointestinal. But before I do this, I wanted to let you know that because I have a great many videos now on many different topics, that I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Please refer to my How to Use Homeopathic Remedies video before using the material in this video. I'll be discussing how to use homeopathic remedies on specific ailments, but I've broken these ailments into categories for easier reference. I'll begin with ailments of the mind and emotions, then I'll move on to ailments of the brain and nervous system. Then I'll address issues with the skin, nails, hair, condition of the eyes, ears, nose, teeth, gums, lungs, respiration, heart, blood circulation, muscles, bones, joints, esophagus, stomach, duodenum, small and large intestine, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, kidney, bladder. Then ailments specific to women and specific to men. Then issues of the hormones and the metabolism and infections, infestations, the immune system. Then issues surrounding fertility, pregnancy, childbirth, postnatal problems. Then homeopathic remedies for infants, ailments, diseases in childhood, special issues of adolescence, and finally, special issues of the elderly. Constitutional treatment involves treating the totality of the individual person. Everyone is a unique individual with a unique physiology that responds to substances differently. In homeopathy, it's recognized that people will react strongly to certain remedies, and as a result of this, they can be loosely placed into different categories called constitutional types. Homeopaths talk of, for example, phosphoric types. These are people who react strongly to phosphorus, or Arsenicum album types. Those who react strongly to Arsenicum album. The belief is that people of one type share similarities in terms of body shape, character, and personality, and the sorts of diseases from which they suffer. As an example, natrum-mur people tend to be pear-shaped, have a dark complexion, be fastidious and rigid in personality, and keep themselves to themselves. They also crave salt and suffer from constipation. As another example, lycopodium types tend to be tall, ganglion, of a stooped appearance, with an anxious expression and a craving for sweets and a propensity to produce intestinal gas. Now, of course, constitutional types have their limitations. In reality, each person is an individual, and so there are as many constitutional types as there are human beings. An account must be taken of the sum total of the person's inherent predispositions, past illnesses, diet, general reactions to the environment, intellectual and emotional features, and general attitude towards life. This is what is meant by constitutional treatment. I'll be making detailed videos of the various constitutional types after I've completed the use of homeopathic remedies on ailments. The ideas, procedures, and suggestions in this video and all my homeopathic videos are not intended as a substitute for the medical advice of a trained health professional. Consult your physician before adopting the suggestions in this video. If you're pregnant, do not attempt these techniques without the approval of your physician. So, let us continue with learning how homeopathic treatments can help with infections, infestations, and the immune system, starting with the letter B2, bacterial, gastrointestinal. Infections are an almost daily occurrence, but if we are healthy, our immune system deals with them before we notice any symptoms. Most microorganisms enter the body through the nose and mouth, in the air, in our food, sometimes on dirty fingers. Some enter through cuts and abrasions, while others invade the urinary or reproductive tract through the urethra or vagina. Many of the microorganisms with which we share this planet are harmless. Some permanently inhabit the inside and outside of the human body. A few even produce substances useful to it and prevent harmful bacteria from finding a foothold. This is true of certain bacteria in the large intestine and vagina. Some bacteria are harmless in one part of the body but damaging in others. This is true of E. coli, which is benign while it is in the colon or rectum, but harmful if it is transferred to the urethra, vagina, or mouth. Each kind of microorganism, whether it is a bacterium, virus, fungus, or blood parasite, carries special chemical markers known as antigens. Some strains of lymphocyte, which is a kind of white blood cell produced in the lymph nodes, spleen, bone marrow, adenoids, tonsils, and the wall of the gut, recognize antigens and stimulate other lymphocytes to produce proteins called antibodies, which then disable the carrier organism. Other lymphocytes directly attack and destroy the invading organism. For about 6 months after birth, babies are protected by their mother's antibodies. After that, the immune system is sufficiently mature to start manufacturing its own. Homeopathic immunization does not involve introducing live or dead viruses or antibodies into the body. Instead, remedies are prepared from diseased tissue or secretions using the traditional dilution and succession method. Like other homeopathic remedies, they contain in highly potent form the essence of the source material used, in this case, the essence of the diseased organism and its toxins. The body reacts to such remedies, known as nosodes, by sharpening its immune response. The production of antibodies in response to antigens, the so-called immune response, is not the body's only line of defense. The body's first line troubleshooters are neutrophils and macrophages, which are two kinds of white blood cells that constantly patrol the bloodstream and tissue fluids and respond immediately to the chemical and thermal signals sent out by tissues when they become inflamed. If inflammation is suppressed, white cell activity is impaired. Neutrophils and macrophages gobble up and digest offending microbes, foreign particles, and other noxious elements. The resulting pus is a mixture of necrotic tissue, dead bacteria, and dying white blood cells. Infections can be treated by killing the germs that cause them or by helping the immune system to deal with them, or both, depending on general health and the virulence of the infection. Traditional antibiotics can deal with bacteria, but not viruses. After a course of antibiotics, live yogurt or kefir, eaten daily for at least 5 days, helps to repopulate the gut with the beneficial bacteria that the antibiotics have killed, along with the harmful bacteria that was their main target. Homeopathic remedies, improved nutrition, fresh air, exercise, and rest can restore the coping ability of the immune system. In some cases, homeopathic remedies and antibiotics used together may be necessary. Constitutional homeopathic treatment is always advisable after serious infections. Occasionally, as the result of age or exposure to certain viruses, bacteria, chemicals, or environmental factors, the body loses some of its ability to discriminate between self and non-self, or fails to recognize and destroy its own abnormal cells. The first kind of impairment leads to autoimmune diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis and systemic lupus. The second leads to cancer. Allergies, distressing reactions to certain drugs, chemicals, foods, and other substances that seem to be tolerated by the majority of people are the downside of having an immune system. Bacterial infection affecting the gastrointestinal tract. The various diseases that may arise in gastrointestinal tract because of bacterial infections are cholera, dysentery, food poisoning, and peptic ulcer. Treatment for dysentery. Dysentery. Dysentery is a condition where a person passes loose stool containing blood and mucus. Abdominal pain and fever are also present. There is a constant urge to pass stool, which gives no relief. The bacterial agent behind dysentery is Shigella. Specific remedies to be given 4 times daily. For blood in the stool in excessive amounts, the bleeding is accompanied by colic and strong urge to evacuate the bowels. Use Merc Corr 30C. When mucus is in excess is present in the stool is watery and is accompanied by colicky pain in the lower abdomen. Use Aloes 30C. When the abdominal pain is slightly relieved after passing stool and the desire to pass stool is almost constant, use Nux Vomica 30C. Gastroenteritis. Gastroenteritis is inflammation of the digestive tract, usually caused by a virus transmitted by personal contact. It can also be caused by contaminated food or water, by specific foods that produce an extreme allergic reaction, by a sudden change in diet, or by any illness or drug that alters natural balance of bacteria in the gut. The symptoms vary in severity, but usually pass within 48 hours. A bad case will cause repeated nausea and vomiting, diarrhea, cramping, abdominal pain, fever, and exhaustion. A mild case may be limited to vague nausea and a loose stool or two. In infants and elderly people, the stomach upset can be serious, as they easily lead to dehydration and even shock. The best treatment is rest and plenty of fluids. If the symptoms persist for more than 48 hours or are accompanied by severe abdominal pain for more than 1 hour, call 911 and give Lachesis 6C every 5 minutes for up to 10 doses. The condition may not be gastroenteritis, but instead appendicitis. Specific remedies to be taken every hour for up to 10 doses. Burning pain in the abdomen, person feels chilly, restless, anxious, thirsts for sips of water, symptoms worse between midnight and 2 a.m. Use Arsenicum 6C. Symptoms worse at night, with no two stools alike. Fatty foods make diarrhea worse. Person tearful. Use Pulsatilla 6C. Frothy yellow stools, flatulence, person feels chilly and exhausted, drafts or light pressure on abdomen make symptoms worse. Use China 6C. Diarrhea made worse by moving, pale-colored stools, no pain or vomiting. Use Phosphoric Acid 6C. Diarrhea, burning sensations as stools are passed, vomiting, craving for ice-cold water, which is vomited up as soon as it becomes warm in the stomach. Use Phosphorus 6C. Severe diarrhea, stools greenish and full of mucus, especially in the early morning, cramping pains in the abdomen, weakness. Use Podophyllum 6C. Person cold, clammy, and prostrate, fanning brings relief. Use Carbo Veg 6C. Burning diarrhea that drives person out of bed at around 5 a.m., anus red and itchy. Use Sulphur 6C. Stools dark, bloody, putrid smelling and nearly liquid, abdomen distended, person feels limp and wrung out. Lying on right side makes symptoms worse. Salmonella infection suspected. Use Baptissia 6C. Colicky pain relieved by pressing on abdomen or bending double. Stomach upset associated with extreme anger. Use Colocynth 6C. Diarrhea, blood and mucus in stools. Use Merc Corr 6C. Constant abdominal pain relieved by passing stools. Diarrhea brings on attack of piles, chilliness, irritability. Use Nux 6C. Unremitting nausea, foul-smelling greenish-yellow stools full of fermenting food. Use Ipecac 6C. Self-help. Rest. Drink plenty of fluids and 1 teaspoon of salt, no sugar, to 2 pints of boiled water. Milk is not recommended as it sometimes causes secondary lactose intolerance. Take no food until the stomach settles down and then stick to a light diet for a few days. Be meticulous about personal hygiene so as not to pass the bug on to the rest of the family. I have a great many videos now on many different topics, and so I've decided to make several different video playlists so that it's easier to find the videos of greatest interest. So please check out my playlist page. Well, that's it for now. To stay up to date with my latest videos, make sure to subscribe to this free YouTube channel by clicking the red subscribe button right below this video. Take care.